It is the vision of the Hamilton School District for learners to be driven by passion, inspired by possibilities, and committed to excellence. During the winter of 2020, the Hamilton School District surveyed kindergarten through 6th grade families and staff to determine how well our communicating and reporting methods matched our vision. A committee of 12 teachers, 5 administrators, and 9 parents collaborated over 3 sessions to analyze the data, research best practice, and form a recommendation for kindergarten through 6th grade communicating and reporting going forward. Our charge? To maximize communicating and reporting methods kindergarten through 6th grade. We asked ourselves, what could different look like? We found that both families and teachers named parent-teacher conferences as the most effective form of communication, and said real-time communication helps them understand student progress toward learning goals better than quarterly report cards. Families indicated report cards provide a general overview of student learning, but lack specific details. Teachers echoed this sentiment and advocated a need for report card descriptors that are more specific and better aligned to learning standards and curriculum. So what does that mean? It means communicating and reporting should be about clarity of learning, with teachers asking, what are my students learning? Why are they learning it? How will I know they've got it? And what will I do if they haven't? So that students can say, where am I going? Where am I now? And how can I close the gap? And parents can then respond, I know what my child is learning, I know why my child is learning it, and I know what quality work looks like in relation to the learning goals. Over the next few years, you will see changes to student report cards that reflect these questions of clarity, including a shift from focus on points correct to an understanding of skills and concepts. Both formal and informal assessments in class will be very clear because learning targets are laid out and we know as teachers what skills to assess. And because learning goals are clear for us as educators, teachers can also be clear with students and give them the feedback they need to make progress toward those learning goals.
In Miss Lee's class, we did a critical juncture, and before we started, we got a rubric and it let me know what Miss Lee expects.
The learning goals will be represented on report cards. For example, 5th grade science has prioritized 5 key skills and concepts or learning goals. The assessment to the right, explaining why we see different stars at different times of year, focuses on 3 of them: developing and using models, constructing explanations, and content knowledge. As students practice these key skills, they will receive feedback and have chances to self-assess against our learning progression rubrics. This student received highlights in the level 2 with specific comments and feedback from their teacher on how they can move forward the next time. Report cards will show where students are at halfway through the year on these learning goals.
When I get the teacher's feedback and I knew that if I got a score and that I knew that I could do better, it lets me know what my next steps are and how I can get to that 3 and 4.
Hi, I'm Kristen Lee. I'm a 5th grade math science teacher at SSI. I can say from my experience of using rubrics for the last few years that they have completely transformed the way that I approach science and even the way that I plan my lessons. I make sure that in every single lesson, students have an opportunity to engage in some part of the rubric, whether it be the vocabulary or some of the skills that they need to get to that proficient level. I find that by using the rubrics and communicating the rubrics to the students, I know where they are in their learning, but they also know where they are in their learning, and then they also know the next steps that they need to take to get to that proficient or even excelling level. I really love the rubrics for providing feedback that's meaningful and will lead students to be their best learner and their best self in science.
We are excited about these new changes to communicating and reporting at the kindergarten through 6th grade level as a result of parent, student, and teacher feedback. Not only will families note changes to report cards that better reflect clarity for learning through specific learning target statements aligned to rubrics, but they should also see rubrics coming home on a regular basis with feedback for students on progress toward their growth, as well as their learner portfolio through the Seesaw app. We've also extended time for parent-teacher conferences in the fall and late winter, early spring.